afternoon everyone. Myself Dr. Hanuman Prasad Pandiri. I am working as an assistant professor in the Department of Chemistry at Institute of Aeronautical Engineering IARE, which is located at Dundigal. The topic that I am going to discuss in today's session is from overall gender sensitization, that is question bank on module 5. And the title of module 5 is Gender and Culture. I have already explained in previous sessions about question bank on module 1, question bank on module 2, question bank on module 3, question bank on module 4 also. Now in today's session, I am explaining question bank on module 5, Gender and Culture. Now let's see what are the contents or questions that are covered in this module. Fifth module, Gender and Culture. Let's see. So the contents and various questions from this module 5 are: describe the gender in film. First one. Second one, discuss the gender in electronic media in detail. Third one, outline the gender in advertisement. Fourth one, demonstrate the context of gender in popular literature. Fifth one, illustrate the gender development issues with daily life examples. Sixth one, explain the gender sensitive language. Seventh one, just relationships, being together as equals. Discuss the different types of relations in this context. And next one, eighth one, describe the inspiring story of Mary Kom and Wonler. And ninth one, detail the inspiring story of Rosa Parks. And the final question, 10th one, is explain the life story of the greatest freedom fighter of Scotland, the Brave Heart, to demonstrate the gender equal society. Okay, let's address all these questions in detail. The first one is describe gender in film. Let's see. Men play active roles which drive the narrative, whereas women play passive roles in general, especially in the olden days. But nowadays the scene is reversed, right? So this is the general strategy that was happening in the society. So on an average, okay. And men are physically and mentally strong, whereas women are physically and mentally weak. Society perception is like this, right? Men are allowed to look or gaze at women, whereas women are objects of the male gaze. Men are allowed to look or gaze at women, whereas women are the objects of male gaze. Next, women are protectors, whereas men are protectors. Men are protectors, whereas women are in need of protection by the men, because they are the protectors, right? According to society perception. But nowadays, women are also the protectors in some cases. In many cases, in fact. Okay. And men are dominant as they are independent, whereas women are in need of male support. That is, women are dependent in general. Okay. So according to the society perception, on an average survey, so these are the things. According to this, the roles in film are assigned to are allotted to the gender. Okay. It is male, then they allot somewhat active roles. If it is female, they allot passive roles, means less active roles. And if it is men, then the film roles will be physically or mentally strong roles, means like holding weights, lifting weights, gym carrier, like that. Whereas women are physically and mentally weak, then they are the just objects of male gaze. So they may be appearing just for sexual appearance. Okay, that is the society perception on an average. And since men are allowed to look at or gaze at women, then women are nicely makeup with nice makeup, and they were shown in the films in short clothes and all, okay, to commercialize it. So women are shown to be protected by men in many films, and women are shown to be depending on men in many films, right? So that is how, based on gender, the roles are designed in film. And the second question is, discuss the gender in electronic media in detail. Let's see, gender and media refers to, here media means what? Electronic media or mass media. Gender and media refers to the relationship between media and gender, and how representations of different genders are created by the media. Okay, how the relationships or how the representations of different relationships or different genders, how the representations of different genders are created by the media, is addressing on gender and electronic media. How the representations of different genders are created by media. So that is what this concept elaborates or illustrates. Okay. Conventional media or mainstream media deals with commercial projects that advocate the interests of rich persons, political persons, etc. Whereas alternative media deals with non-commercial projects that advocate interests of those excluded from the mainstream, that is poor, political and ethnic minorities and labor groups, and also LGBT identities. Lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, LGBT. Okay. So regarding them or regarding poor, political and ethnic minorities, who will deal? Alternate media. And who will deal rich persons, political persons? With all of them, who will deal? Conventional media will deal. It is also called mainstream media. Yes. Now many magazines have sexualized images on their cover page. Sexualized images of whom? Images of female or women or girls, to commercialize it, to make more interest on it. Okay. And these days media try to attract its audience with the images of women with little clothing, sexual expression and body language and gestures, right? So you all are having awareness on this. So, and this is done by electronic media on the gender. So that is why this concept is gender and electronic media. Okay. And media are teaching people and children that these things are what is important instead of actual important things going on in the world. So media won't care what are the real issues that has to be addressed in the society that are going on in the world. Instead of that, they will just focus on these kind of things. Okay, like these magazines which are having sexualized images of women with little clothing, sexual expressions, body language and gestures. Okay, these things they will consider. Okay, but alternate media is not like that. Alternate media deals with the interests of poor people and those who are politically and ethnically minorities, those who do not have influence of politics and ethnics. Okay, so our labor groups or LGBT identities. So alternate media has more power than the conventional media because it is giving the genuine and required information to the society, whereas conventional media sometimes it may give, but most of the times it will just for the entertainment of the people. Yes. Now the third question. Okay, so these two questions I hope you understood well. Describe the gender in film and describe or discuss the gender in electronic media in detail. So if you face this question in the examination, I hope you can answer well, and also you can face confidently if it is asked in the interviews. Okay. And the third one, is outline the gender in advertisement. Yes, in advertisement also gender are assigned or allotted. So based on the gender, they will design the role in advertisement. If it is like cine hero, then they will design like perfumes and main roles that are related to masculinity. And if it is women, then they will design roles related to femininity, like opening the malls. At the time of opening the malls, many people will crowd, right? Many people will gather together. So at that time, some beautiful lady is inaugurating the mall or inaugurating the corresponding shop. Then people will come in more number to have the gaze at the woman. Okay, so that kind of roles are given for the female in advertisement. Okay, showing the product particularity or showing the soap is good for health and all by showing her in the advertisement. So, and if it is male, they will mostly show the masculine related things. Okay, like if you use this particular product, then you can lift more heights, then you can be more strong, like that. So that is how gender are taking various roles in the advertisement in the society. So based on gender, everything is happening. But it should not be the case. Gender is not the criteria to align, allot or assign the particular position or particular job. It is the only thing, the commitment that one has to see or one has to observe in the particular gender. Okay? Whatever the gender may be, if commitment is not there, then they cannot efficiently do that. Right? So that is why gender equality must be achieved in the society to get rid of all these kinds of negative issues. Okay? So I hope you understood it and you can answer it well if it is asked in the examination, and also you can face it confidently if it is asked in the interviews. Okay? Next, question number 4. Demonstrate the context of gender in popular literature. So as I explained in the 5th module lectures, recently I explained, you can go through that lecture. So I am briefing here, gender in popular literature. Okay, so in literature, many issues are mentioned. So some good literature is written by men, some good literature is written by women. So both are equally participating. Okay, and the stories of some great men are in the literature, and also the stories of great women are in the literature. Okay, and many of the gender issues are mentioned in the popular literature. So all these things are addressed in the lecture module lecture. Okay, so please go through it, and I hope you understood the briefing, and now you can answer this question well in the examination if it is asked, and also you can face it thoroughly and confidently if it is asked in the interviews. Now let's move on to the next question. Question number 5. Illustrate the gender development issues with daily life examples. So you have to illustrate the gender development issues. What are the gender development issues? Okay. Yes, tell me gender development issues. If gender equality, here I will tell you mainly 3 gender development issues. If gender equality is considered, gender development will be faster. Gender development is faster. Okay? Or development issues with respect to gender. So if anybody treat gender as unequal or they segregate the gender, then development issues will arise in the society. Because many works can be done by male and many works can be done by female independently. If you are not given equal priority, then the contribution by them will be lost. As a result, the development will be hindered. Okay, So that is why gender equality must be considered as gender development issue. So what is the issue in developing? Because of gender inequality. So one must have the awareness that gender is equal. Okay. And second one, due to racism. So because of racism means if particular person is white or fair, then he will be given position in the company, or he will be given job in the, or he will be making more friends in the society. And if somebody is black, then he will be mostly avoided by the other people of the society or of the village or of the particular place. Even in the schools, colleges, workplaces, this may happen. Okay, so this is also one of the issues in the development, gender issues. Okay, and third one mainly that you can discuss is casteism. Okay, casteism. So people based on caste will prefer the person. Even friendship also, some people will do with higher caste people, and some people will avoid lower caste people, and some people will give more jobs to higher caste people, and some people will not at all consider lower caste people in giving jobs. Okay, so these are, but who knows, the higher caste people may not be the more efficient. In fact, the lower caste people may be the efficient, who knows. So that is why showing the casteism or showing the caste discrimination is not at all correct for the development. So this is one of the issues in development, caste discrimination. Okay, here gender equality means here gender discrimination. So because of that, maybe other gender is more efficient, then he or she is losing the opportunity, as well as the company or organization is losing the great talent of her in order to develop that particular organization. So that is why development is getting hindered because of these issues: gender inequality or gender discrimination, racism, casteism, and many other issues are discussed in the module lecture. You can go through them for more elaboration. Okay, now I hope you understood. So you can answer this well if it is asked in the examination, and also you can face it confidently if it is asked in the interviews. Okay, so now let's move on to the next question. Sixth one, explain the gender sensitive language. I have explained recently in the fifth module lectures. So based on the gender, you have to use language. So first person, second person, third person, like that gender sensitive language is there. If he or she or it, so gender, based on the gender, you have to use corresponding helping verb has. And if it is plural, they, then you have to use the helping verb have. Okay, so many kinds of these things I have explained in the module lectures. And also, if any person has to be mentioned with last name. Okay, for example, William Shakespeare, no one will call him as just William, either Shakespeare or full name, last name or full name, or full name. So that is how we have to use the language. And also, if particular person is holding some position in the society, you have to mention it. Okay, like Narendra Modi. So you cannot use Narendra, you can use Modi. So Prime Minister Modi, you have to mention Prime Minister Modi instead of mentioning just Modi, Prime Minister Modi, like that. And similarly, if 2 or 3 persons are having the same first name, then you have to use their names with full names. Okay, for example, 2 persons are wife and husband, both are famous in the society. Then in order to use them in a sentence or in language, you have to use the full names. Okay, so like that you have to take active part in gender sensitive language. I hope you understood how to address it. Now you can answer it well if it is asked in the examination, and you can face it confidently if it is asked in the interviews. Okay. So now let's move on to the next question. Question number 7. Just relationships, being together as equals, and discuss the different types of relations in this context. What are the different types of relations that I have discussed here? Recently, I have explained it in the module 5, which is gender and culture. So, the different types of relations that I have explained are mothers, father, friendship, love and commitment, all these relations I have explained in detail in order to have relationships being together as equals. Okay, so mother is the ultimate relation that takes care of any child, because the mother carries him or her for 9 months in her womb, okay, by facing many struggles. So that is why mother is considered as the ultimate relation. And the mother takes care of children like anybody, okay, like no one can takes care of the children like mother. And now father is the next ultimate relation after mother, because father protects the overall family from the upcoming dangers, and father teaches the way of life. And friendship is the one in which who shares all the things, all happiness, all sadness, everything will be shared, and so that the relationship will be more strong and they can be being together as equals. And also love and commitment, the relation between two opposite genders. So it should be committed, not for just selfish causes. Okay, it should be committed, like lifelong relation should be there. The love should be genuine. So these kind of relations which make the gender by being together as equals. Okay, so for more elaboration, you can go through the module lecture, and I hope you understood this briefing, and now you can answer this question well in the examination if it is asked in the examination, or you can face it confidently if it is asked in the interviews. Okay, now let's move on to the next question. Question number 8. What is it? Describe the inspiring story of Mary Kom and Wandler. Okay, you know about Mary Kom. She is the boxer. She has many victories. She has many medals. She has many achievements nationally. Okay, and she has many awards like Padma Vibhushan, Padma Bhushan, and Padma Shri. Okay, she has many awards. Okay, she is called Magnificent Mary, MC Mary Kom. Okay, Magnificent Mary, because she became the reason for the glory of our nation. So that is why Magnificent Mary. And she is also called the mother of all the winnings, mother of all the victories. Okay, and Wandler is her partner. Their marriage is love marriage. So the commitment, how one supports each other. Okay, there will be complete mutual support between them. Mary Kom supports her husband, and her husband also supports her to participate in all kinds of national sports without any discrimination. So that is how both got succeeded in their life. And here the main concept is love and commitment have led to the successful woman Mary Kom. So like we say, behind every successful man there is a woman. But here we can say behind every successful woman there may be a man. Okay, or there will be men. That is for sure. Okay, so that is why mutual cooperation, mutual understanding, mutual commitment must be there to achieve success. Okay, so as a part of gender and culture, we have discussed this one. So I hope you understood, and you can more elaborate by looking at the module lecture. So you can answer this question well if it is asked in the examination, and you can also face it confidently if it is asked in the interviews. Okay. So now let's move on to the next question. Question number 9. Detail the inspiring story of Rosa Parks. Rosa Parks, I hope you remember. Okay. So just recently I have discussed the life story, inspiring story of Rosa Parks. She fought for the racism. She fought for the elimination of racism. So what she did? She is a revolutionist. Okay. So when she is traveling in the bus, so in that place in England, whites are given particular seats, blacks are with well facilities, and blacks are given some particular seats with low facilities. But the racism is there in such a way that if all the white seats are white allocated seats are full, then they can occupy the black allotted seats, right? So if the black are not are rejecting the whites for giving their seats, then it is treated as crime according to the government, England government. Okay. So Rosa Parks fought for that, and once upon a time she is also traveling in the bus, and all the white allotted seats were over. So the conductor asked her to give up her seat for the white, but she rejected. She refused, and so as per the law in that country, she was arrested, and she confidently said, "Yeah, you can arrest. There is no problem, but I am not violating the human rights laws." Okay, like that she confidently said. Then later the government changed that rule that both have to be given equal priority in the bus or wherever they are traveling. Then they did some kind of rally kind of things for 1.5 years. Okay, so they went to workplaces either by car driving, car sharing, or by walking, or by cycling. That is how they preferred to go to their workplaces. And she became the more important revolutionist. When she was in jail, her friend, he is also one of the revolutionists, has given her bail, and he supported her like anything in her success. So finally, she achieved the success that racism have been eliminated in that particular country, and the same was spread over all the world. Okay, so one movement, if it is started anywhere, that will be continued throughout the world. Don't think that that will be particularly limited in that particular region. So it will spread out. So as a result, the good thing will be continued throughout the world. Okay. So I hope you understood it, and for more elaboration you can go through the module lecture, and now you can answer it well in the examination if it is asked, and also you can face it confidently if it is asked in the interviews. And let's see the final question. Question number 10. Explain the life story of the greatest freedom fighter of Scotland country, the Braveheart. And his actual name is William Wallace. William Wallace. He fought for the freedom of Scotland country. So, why we are discussing this? To demonstrate the gender equal society. Means nobody is slave under someone. All are equal. Okay? So, to emphasize that, the story of the greatest freedom fighter of Scotland, the Braveheart, his actual name is William Wallace, is designed as a syllabus in this course. Okay, so what he did lot of fight against the whites. His name is Edward I. He's the British ruler. So he did lot of things to face him, and finally, because of his force, they have banned him. So later he did lot of revolutionary movements, and he got success in certain things, but later he was sent to the England, that person. So he was hanged by them. Means somebody hanged them in a rude condition, means you can understand what are the good things he has done for the own nation. Yes, he has done very good things. That is why they have brutally hanged him and brutally dismantled all his bowels. So by that you can understand what are the good things, how irritation the British got by him. So he became the role model and he became the reason for the freedom of Scotland later, but not by him directly. Indirectly, he became the reason because he started the fight. So that fight was continued by the next coming people, and they have achieved the freedom. Okay, so that is why we have studied the story of life story of the greatest freedom fighter William Wallace. He is considered as the Braveheart. He is the first person to go against the British to say that we also have equal rights, not to be slaves. Okay, so for more elaboration, you can go through the module lecture, and now you can answer this question well if it is asked in the examination, and also you can face it confidently if it is asked in the interviews. Okay, so the references I followed were Gender Studies by Kadambari and Gender Sensitization by Rajalakshmi Kalyani. Thank you very much for your kind attention and all the very best for you. Okay.
Like, share and subscribe. Hit the bell icon for more updates.